Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Oh, they said they can hear me. Okay, this is Matt. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello. Maybe we have audio now. So you missed our whole little thing maybe, but testing, 1, 2, 3. Can anybody confirm that we've got audio? I see it. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that, honestly.
Yep, yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of okay.
Yes, I see a feedback now for this, fortunately.
There's a little bit of delay on the stream.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, they can hear Davis now.
Is that good?
Can you hear the guy with the Callaway hat?
Is it now? Is this it? I don't know. I think this is it. Can you hear me, Steven? Okay. Matt, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Everybody else that I don't have the chat screen up, Winnie's going to be doing this because I didn't pull that up. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, so...
There's awesome. Okay, from Anthony. Gotcha. So from Anthony, we're not giving the name of the newly launched course now, but whoever can go to our site and tell us what the newly launched course is as of right now gets a free what? Gets a free month subscription on Linux Academy. Well, there's a little bit of a stream delay, so I think they could still hear me. Can you hear me? Left guy audio, yes. Okay, so yes, we're still working on audio issues. If someone can go to the site, and the new course is up now, but we haven't announced it yet, tell us what it is in chat, and that person gets a free month of Linux Academy subscription. Yes, first person in chat. What's the new course?
Test, test, test. Hey.
Oh, I think we got a winner. Thomas Farrell. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
I hear it. I hear it.
Easy on the clicks.
Be easy on the clicks, except for it's really soft. Really, really soft. So input. All right, yeah. Okay.
Turn up your interface maybe.
Okay, cool. So it looks like the first person has guessed it, and Thomas Farrell, good for you, good for you. And so what we'll do here is, and that is the course, I know, so we were going to do a little bit more than just that, and we actually have a lot to actually talk about on this live stream, but that is the course. So for those of you who patiently waited, thank you very much. I apologize for the issues. This is our first live stream of the month. We have over 70 different things that we're launching this month, including approximately 20 Linux Academy courses, over 50 independently consumable. Actually, I think it's about 60 or 70, so we're actually well over 70 mark. Independently consumable, hands-on learning activities as well for a lot of these different concepts. So we're going to be celebrating that with you and with the team at Linux Academy as well. So good job on finding that. And so what we'll do is I'm actually going to leave us up here on the screen as we kind of go through and look at stuff. I don't want to mess anything or jinx anything up. And so we'll go through on this next thing, and I'll minimize us a little bit. And what we'll do is we're going to talk a little bit about our content team, what we've been going on, what's been happening, all of that kind of fun stuff that's been happening at Linux Academy. And really, one of the things that we're super proud of, hold on a second, there we go, is our content, obviously, right? So we work really, really hard. And what I will do is I will tell you that one of the hardest things I've ever done, right? A lot of times there's taking certifications. A lot of times it's learning new things. I'm in the middle of learning some new stuff in Rails, not traditionally my programming development or Ruby, but using the Rails framework. And learning new things is hard. And a lot of times what you have to do is you have to build foundations for scaling. And so, what I will say is those same types of things that we teach for scaling architectures and high availability and handling load, believe it or not, is relatively the same when it comes to building companies. So to give you a little bit of context, and for those of you who watched the stream yesterday, in January of 2016, we had 7 full-time staff members. In January of 2017, we had 40, and today we have just over 90. And what I will say is right around that 50 mark, everything changes, right? What's funny is when you have 7 full-time staff members, every meeting is a company meeting. But when you have 90, it's a little bit difficult, right? And so when we looked at doing that, we have a huge content team. Right now, this is our current content team. We have I don't even know if they're all showing on there, but we do have another 5 that are starting over the next few weeks, and we are going to be having a huge content team. So we're really, really excited about that. What we're really excited about, too, is our students have been really, really requesting Azure. And we have 3 full-time Azure course authors that are on staff today and are actively working on Azure content, which will be coming out later in Q2 and a lot of it in Q3. So part of that takes a little bit of time. Those exams are just huge. So if you take into account video, the hands-on labs, we have Azure hands-on labs, all of those other things like that, it just takes a little bit of time. So what I want to do here is show you some of our content teams. So we actually have Stephen Smith with us today, who is head of OpenStack and a secret category that is on there, but that's all cool, and security and Google content. So Stephen, just say hi and introduce yourself. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Steven, and as Anthony mentioned, I'm over OpenStack, Google, and some other stuff. Looks like we're actually showing that, but that's okay. Maybe some people notice that, maybe some people won't. There's a lot of stuff going on. Looking forward to specifically today talking about...
All right, wait a second. They're for sure going to notice it now, though. Like, we basically said if you don't know what we're talking about, really look at it.
Yeah, good point. So that's kind of a teaser right there, right? So to answer your question, Anthony, we have a lot of stuff going on. We'll talk specifically about Google today. Later this week, we'll talk about some OpenStack. But if you look one more time at the screen right there, you can see some upcoming type content that we'll have in the near future.
So also, real quick, for those of you who are still here, we're going to talk some more. We're going to hint at some of the other stuff that we're working on. And again, we just launched. This was really anticlimactic. We're going to get to the slide that actually announces it, because like I said, I didn't want to quite do it yet, but the mess up kind of got us there. But we launched Google Cloud Security Essentials, right? And Matt, we have the author, Matt, who's going to talk a little bit about it here. And we're also going to demo our brand new practice exam system that is in use with his course and all of our new content. So keep in mind, all of our new content has this because it actually changed how we build practice exams for our students for the better. So we haven't ported it backwards yet, but all of our new content is getting that. We're going to demo that. And also for those of you who stay until the end of the live stream, we're going to be doing some giveaways of swag. So we have Linux Academy shirt. We have my personal favorites, which are Linux Academy and Cloud Assessment Yetis. And of course, I have these all over the place. We have stress balls and penguins. I don't know where my little penguin guy went. And we're going to be interacting a little bit. And Winnie is going to be raising her hand to me. Come over here and say hi, Winnie, so everybody knows who I'm talking about. So Winnie, this is Winnie. She's the one on the live stream. And if you have questions, she's going to look at it and raise her hand and say, hey, there's a question. And so we're going to just have fun a little live stream. So I put myself right in the center there so you guys can see that. I'm going to bring it back down a little bit. And so we have 3 heads of content. And the reason we're doing that is because we have an entire new strategic mission this year, and it's around hands-on learning and content at Linux Academy. We've always believed in that practical application component, but we have invested and built platforms, internal platforms, that are really going to allow us to scale that out for our students. All of our new hands-on learning activities utilize our real-time grader feedback system. And I'm going to be excited in some of these announcements throughout the quarter or throughout the month, tomorrow, so on and so forth, to actually demonstrate that for you as well. And what happens is when you deploy out these live environments and you go through and you're completing the objectives, it's actually going to provide feedback if you completed the right objective or not and what you should be doing. It has been something that we've put a lot of engineering around and a lot of time, and it's one of those things that you don't see on the front end, but there's a lot, tremendous amount of work on the back end. And so let's go ahead and move on and talk a little bit about where we're going to bring you in here, Matt, so I know you're ready for it. We have Matt, and you know what, Matt? Why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about the course you've been working on this past quarter?
Well, it's been about the past month and a half, 2 months working on our Google Cloud Security Essentials course. And especially when it comes to cloud technology, security is a pretty big deal. We see news stories all the time about somebody leaving cloud storage buckets wide open with information that should be not made to the public. And we want our students to not wind up in the news in a very bad way by going through this course. So it's going to go over some of the concept foundational skills that any Google Cloud administrator needs to know to make sure that they don't wind up in the news or someone doesn't get something they should not be doing. We're going to be talking about foundational concepts such as identity and access management, securing your network with firewall rules, making sure that the right people have access to your virtual machines, and some other topics as well.
So, Matt, you actually had just got done building and completing the last part of the Google Cloud certification. What is it? Certified Architect, is that correct?
Correct.
So there's 3 parts of that course, and first off, I'm trying to get my little picture here to come up here. But congratulations on it being at least the third and second part. I haven't looked at the first for a little bit, but it is actually, both of them are 2 of our most and highest rated courses by our students. So if you actually don't know this, on every piece of content, from a video, from a lab, from an exercise, to a quiz question, you can thumbs up or thumbs down. And Matt, why don't you tell us how much time each week you actually look at the feedback from our students and how it's actually adjusted your teaching and presenting of those concepts?
At least a good few hours per week. Every few days we'll go over the ratings, and we can filter down by the past few days. And lots of times there could be something as simple as a typo in a quiz question. So what we'll do is we'll go in and fix it, whether it's a video editing issue, typo, maybe a quiz question isn't worded the best way, and we fix it, and we'll let the student know that, hey, thank you so much for letting us know about this. We'll get it fixed. And it just helps us make the best content possible by using that constant feedback cycle to listen to feedback from the community and make everything awesome.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, we have technical writing processes. We have all these things that occur, but sometimes stuff just goes through. And what I want to do is I want to kind of articulate why we have full-time course authors on staff, right? There are a lot of companies that hire consultants, or you have, Udemy courses, or you have contractors, or you pay royalties. And the thing is you can't provide that type of feedback. You can't answer questions for students. You can't update the course as frequently as it needs to be updated in this day and age. And so we actually employ all of our staff full-time at Linux Academy. We don't have any contractors. We're all full-time staff. We believe in training and building just like we do for our students. And Matt, how long ago? It's actually almost your 1-year anniversary. When did you start here with Linux Academy?
Yes, I started on here in late May 2017. Can't believe it's almost been a year, which is just crazy. And this is quite simply the best company I've ever worked for. The management is awesome. I think I probably have the best boss I've ever worked for, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on camera.
Who's your boss? Let's be clear on who the boss is.
Steven, right? He's on the live stream, but he's somewhere off to the side there. Anyway, you saw him a second ago. But yeah,
peek up your head, Steven. Peek up your head just a little bit. There, a little bit more. A little bit more. Just a little bit more. Oh, there he is. That's Steven.
All right, well, that's Steven. So anyway, yeah, everything's awesome here. I basically get paid to basically put out the best content and help change people's lives and learn as much as I can. And I have nothing but good things to say about it. And we want more course authors to join us too, which I think I'm stealing some of Anthony's thunder right now. But yeah, the team is growing, and we want people to join us.
Join Linux Academy, where we sing "Everything is Awesome." Lego is a Lego movie. Full credit to Lego. Do not sue us, please, dear Lord. No, so and he says that we're actually, Stephen, tell us a little bit about how you're building in what some of the plans you have on continuously building our Google Cloud content and our Google Cloud author team as well. Wait, hold on a second. Let's see if we can get your face on here. Let's see if we can do it.
Nobody wants to see that.
This is amateur live feed day. This is the first time I've ever done it. I should have spent more time on it. I don't know why. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Practicing is for the
and it's jagged. So it builds character. We have a live stream full of character this morning.
Right. So can you guys hear me?
It just turned into a question mark.
Oh, he's back.
There we go. Say that again. You turned into a question mark.
There's Steven.
I keep going to the question mark. I don't know if I should be or what's going on.
It doesn't carry over for some reason.
So hopefully I can hear you better this time. I'm trying to speak a little bit louder. I heard that there was audio issues. So let me kind of share a little bit about what's going on the Google team specifically first. So as Matt joined us a little over a year ago, we really realized that we need to bolster the heck out of the Google Cloud pillar. It's, amazing stuff that's happening right now in the cloud world, period. And Google has what I would think some of the most amazing things that are just about to come out. You'll notice, obviously, we started with, certification-based training. Well, Matt doing the 3-part Google Cloud Platform certification. So we're excited to bring that, but what I'm also excited to bring is real-world based scenario training. You guys know us for, like Matt mentioned a few moments ago, if you look at security news right now, people are not putting proper security things around their platforms. Whether you're doing AWS or working with OpenStack or working with Microsoft Azure, security is a big, big topic. So I'm going to kind of hint a little bit on security because we have some amazing security training coming within the next several quarters. I'll say that. We'll have security focused around every content pillar that we have, right? And we'll have specific security training, so possibly some security certification training. I don't know. I've heard that might be a possibility. But as it relates to Google, I'm super excited to release Matt's course today. He's put a lot of effort into it, and I think you're going to notice that if you are an enterprise and you are even starting to begin with Google, there's a lot of good content there that's going to get you to put real-world scenario-based training, right? It's not just...
Nope. I think Steven dropped.
He's back.
Okay, Steven's back.
Over this year, lots of Google stuff happening. Specifically, and I do want to mention real quickly, we are hiring dedicated people. If you are watching this stream right now and you care about people, we're a people-oriented company. Everything that we do here is about you guys. So if you are passionate about training, not only in cloud technologies, but passionate about helping other people learn those cloud technologies, we want to hear from you. I need 3 people in the next 3 months to join our Google team. So if you're interested in doing that, please hit me up. We'll put some stuff out there and share in the community on how to apply, but you can definitely go to our website, check out our About page, and apply there. Hit us up. We want to hear from you.
Also, to not spoil anything, we will tomorrow, I believe it is, be having Steven on again and another Google author that we have on staff. So tomorrow will be Google again, Google Cloud again. And so that should be exciting. And some good little secret information that's come out for those of you who have stayed for the stream. I appreciate it. I don't know how many people are on it. It looks like 1 million. That's pretty impressive. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through some of this stuff on my screen. So given the fact that this is the first time I've used this new tool, I got a 4K camera staring at me in my face. This thing is huge. It's like that big. You guys can probably see every little detail that you don't want to see. I'm going to attempt to switch over to my screen, okay? So what I want you to understand is we are going to attempt to switch over to this screen, okay? Clearly a super hard thing for me this morning. Got to the gym super early. My brain's not functioning. So I actually got Davis leaning in here, making sure it's doing good. So actually while he's doing that, what I'll do is I'll show you something I came across this morning while looking through some of our swag. I was going through my garage to bring some of our other stuff into the office. And this is, we actually have the pinehead.com, but originally 16 years ago, when I was 16 years old, how am I now? So it might be over 16 years. I'm old now. So 16 years ago, we had pinehead.com, where when I was 16, I was working at an internet service provider and doing hosting with old versions of Red Hat and Slackware, super fun. And it was PHP and Linux tutorials, and there are so many typos on it. If you ever go back to the Wayback Machine, it's back in 2002, 2003, 2001, 2002. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the screen here, see what happens, and we'll go from there. Can you guys still hear me?
I think so.
We hear you.
Levels here. Test. Yep.
Students, can you hear me? Stephen, Matt, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Good. All right. So we got a few other things. We got another slide, which is good stuff. We got good stuff going on
now.
All right, so what you see is my screen, and we are going to go through and talk a little bit. Matt, you're going to come back on play here in just a second, and we're going to also demo our new practice exam system, which is phase 1. We actually have going into development phase 2. Let's see, can you, while I'm talking, get my head on there? And phase 2 is going to be awesome. I don't want to go into too many details, but it's very specific, not around testing, but around learning. And we're diving in on that as well. And we also have some really cool learning tools coming out the rest of this quarter. I don't know if we'll have different live streams for those, or we'll just talk about them again next quarter. And my screen, so small, yeah.
And Steven's a question mark again.
He's still, you can get rid of, yeah, you can get rid of Steve if you have to, yeah.
I just said we get rid of, I just meant fire him, is what I said.
Yeah, I caught that.
Fire him. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Google Cloud Platform section here, and I'm going to browse down a little bit. And so we have, obviously, one of our first ones that we have here, Matt, was the first course that you did, which was Google Certified Professional Cloud Architect. And that's part 1. And then we have Google Cloud Certified Professional Cloud Architect part 2. And then we have part 3. And then with this, we also have kind of a Google Cloud Platform for the AWS user, Google Cloud Security Essentials, and Google Cloud Container Engine. And to be announced, according to my thing, I'll show you all here in a second, tomorrow, which is with Joseph Lowry. We'll have him on. But let's go ahead and open up Google Cloud Security Essentials and take a look at this course. Now, obviously, this course is coming in with a set of flashcards associated with this. We have a few downloads associated with this, and this is our syllabus. And so, Matt, why don't you just, for just a quick thing before we dive into, and you can tell us what quiz you want us to check out, but why don't you just summarize each one of these sections for us so we know what we're looking at?
It's really going to go over I kind of call it the main pillars of Google Cloud Security, really kind of for all the other major cloud platforms as well. We're going to talk about identity and access management, essentially managing who has access to what resources, and especially talking about using the principle of least privilege, in which you give someone just enough access they need, but not too much, which of course can lead up to all sorts of interesting issues. We're going to then go into talking about keeping your network assets secure, primarily using firewall rules, in which you can shape what network traffic can get in from what location and what cannot. We're going to talk about managing access to your operating system instances, how to keep those up to date, and kind of talking about the shared responsibility model in which Google will do their part to secure your platform, but a lot of that responsibility also falls on you as well, especially when working with infrastructure as a service instances such as Compute Engine. We're then going to go into data security, and that talks about all those get yourself in the new scenarios where you leave some sort of a storage bucket wide open to the public. We want to avoid that. So we're going to talk about IAM roles on Cloud Storage Bucket, ACLs, which is where people get into trouble, which is access control lists. We're going to talk about some other database security measures as well. We're then going to talk about how to really know what's going on in your environment using Stackdriver logging and monitoring. Basically answers the question, hey, what's going on? And if somebody does something, how do I get an alert about that? We're going to kind of briefly conclude with a brief overview of the key management service in which everything is encrypted, but you also have the option to bring your own encryption versus Google's default encryption and kind of do a hands-on demonstration with that. So I would say those are really kind of the core pillars any Google Cloud administrator needs to know to properly lock down all the possible little entries into their system.
Thanks, Matt. And we got a lot of people asking about all of the different courses that we're launching. And I wrote this blog post yesterday called Why We're Not Yet Releasing the List. And so let me just summarize real quick, and then I'm going to show you the practice exam system, and we're actually going to wrap up, maybe do a quick giveaway here. But really what's happening is we've spent a lot of time building new internal tools that are really allowing us to create amazing hands-on based content. And this month, April, is the first month of all of our new content being built on those tools. Basically, all these new tools, these new processes. And anytime you go through any type of change like that, it's hard, right? And so what we're doing is we want to bring on each of the course authors, the heads of content, to show you and to show you and let you talk to a little bit and talk with, and ask questions if you want, the actual course authors that are teaching you things. And we also want to be a little transparent on some of the things that we're doing and some of the things that are coming. Because what I will say is our 70 plus announcement is going to look like small potatoes the rest of the year. So I'm not going to say anything else other than that. But
And that's kind of our goal behind this. So today, again, for all of you new people, we have a lot of new people on the stream. It was Google Cloud Security Essentials. Tomorrow will be another Google course. And then we have live streams every day this week and live streams every day next week with announcements. And the other thing that we're doing is we're wrapping up the final thing. So creating our content, because we have our real-time feedback system and our real-time hands-on labs now, takes a little bit longer. And so what we're doing is we're not releasing it until it's 100% available on the site, and they're all in those final stages. So every single day we release, a new one will be added to the site. So we'll be adding to that every single business day of the month in April, and we're going to be having some great conversations and doing some awesome live streams. So again, Google Cloud Security Essentials. For Matt, what practice, or not practice exam, what quiz do you want us to, it looks like Winnie has a question. Yes. So I love that question. And in fact, this is part of what we've been focusing on so hard over the past few months. We have not necessarily in Google at this moment. We're not going to go down that road right now. Matt, you just stay right where you are, sir. You just stay calm and quiet. It's calm and quiet. No, I'm just kidding. There's always exciting things that we're working on. But yes, and in fact, our new way of doing it is utilizing cloud assessments within Linux Academy. And in fact, how we build content now is built into our new content building platform. And the focus on our hands-on labs is tremendous, right? And so we're going to talk about a lot of those coming through. We have over, I don't know the exact number, it's 50 to 60, and it might actually be more than that. It's part of our content. But we have over 60 live environment learning activities that are independently consumable, which means you can take them by themselves as well as within courses. And that's part of our 70 plus announcement. And in fact, we might be in the 80s at this point. And so that's a big focus. And in fact, we just had yesterday our heads of content meeting. We have daily stand-ups talking about these things. And we're tweaking our process a little bit more to even be hands-on first before video. And so that means it's going to be even better than it was. And so you are going to see our hands-on labs bolstered everywhere. And what the really cool thing is all of our new hands-on labs, all of them, have our real-time grader feedback system. Okay, so here, let me explain this to you. Let's say you are going through, this is Google Cloud, so we'll just say Linux environment that's deployed out, okay? You're going through a Linux environment, and we have a set of objectives, right? You have an activity, a hands-on learning activity, that has a set of objectives that you need to learn in order to have successfully completed learning the concepts, right? We're talking about objective-based instructional design, something that we do here. It's going to provide you real-time feedback when you have successfully completed that objective. So it will say, check box, you have successfully completed that objective. The real cool thing about this is it's also empowered us or enabled us to create performance-based practice exams for Red Hat, Linux Foundation. We have OpenShift labs coming out. We have Can't Tell You because that's an announcement that we have yet to make this month. But we have a ton of AWS. Azure is a big thing right now. We have a lot of engineering teams bolstering our Azure component because we have a lot of Azure authors focusing on hands-on training right now. So there's a lot of things going on. Hands-on is what we do best, and you are going to see it be absolutely amazing. So great question, great question. And so with that, you know what, Matt? What quiz do you want me to look at here? I'm going to let you pick.
Since we've already been referencing not having your cloud storage resources released to the public, let's go down to data storage and go to the quiz on there.
Data security or data storage?
Data security.
Okay. Data security, and we're going to click on securing your data. So those of you watching, right, this is what we've talked about a little bit more. What you're going to start seeing is this little cloud, okay? And that's our cloud assessments product. And it's important because how we do things at cloud assessments, it's been a lot of our engineering, by the way, is based off of that assessing engine feedback, whether it's an exam, whether it's a quiz, or whether it's a hands-on environment. Our goal is to assess what you're actually able to do and provide that feedback loop, right? So whenever we see this, our data, our platform is continuously getting smarter and Smarter, which continuously improves our content. It's literally something that is genuinely unique, and we've spent the past 12 months investing and developing it. And this is the first quarter where we're really going to start seeing the first iterations of it, and throughout this quarter in Q2, you are going to see some massive changes coming to our platform. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Now, if you're a Linux Academy member, you get unlimited access with that one membership to everything in Linux Academy, everything in Cloud Assessments, and everything in Scale Your Code. Tremendous amounts of video. We're talking about over 1,500 hours of video. We're talking about over 600 hands-on labs, okay? Understand, we have over 600 hands-on labs. We have over 542 exercises that utilize our cloud servers, which are getting a little bit of a revamp. That's what I've been working on. And let's see what else we got. I think it's something around 480 different quizzes that have accumulation of over 4,000 different quiz questions, as well as over, I believe we hit over 150,000. I need to check with David on this, but over 150,000 created flashcards that you can utilize to help your training. So we believe in a stack when it comes to learning, right? We believe, and there's more than just, I'm going to tell you to pass an exam. There's more than just a video. For me, this is personally where it came from. I need to hear something, I need to apply it, I need to memorize it, then I need to do it in different scenarios so I can apply what I've learned. They actually call this, we've been talking a lot about internal instructional design and learning habits here, but I forgot the name of it. And I just require a lot, right? Call me a slow learner, absolutely probably correct. And that's where we developed Alpha This Stack, right? To really be able to do it. So anyway, let's get to the good stuff here. Let's go to our securing your data with Google Cloud. So what's going to happen here is it's going to take me over to Cloud Assessments and automatically log me in with our single sign-on system. Now, as a Linux Academy user, I'm going to be able to start the exam, and it's going to cost me 0 gems. Look at all of the gems I have. I basically have all of the gems in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start Exam. And what this does is over here, this is the question I'm on. I have 10 questions. This one says I should spend about 2 minutes or a total of 3 minutes on each question. Now, this is really cool when it comes to our practice exams, because really what we want to do is we want to mimic being inside of that real environment. So you know how much time to spend on each quiz question, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this question. And in fact, I'm going to read it, Matt. You're going to tell me the answer. I'm going to do really good on the first question. And this question is, you need to give an employee, Bob, the ability to... All right, so Matt, what's the question? I'm not going to read the whole thing.
I'm actually on a delay, so let me bring it up myself on my end.
Let me see here. I'm going to say assign... This is probably wrong. Because what's really cool is I'm going to show you all how we can even come back and see how we scored previously. So this is multi-answer. I'm probably going to select 2. Oh, you know what? I love this question. He did an excellent job, very clear. So I'm going to give him a thumbs up. And I'm going to go to the next question. So in this question, I think it's going to be B, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to go ahead and mark it for review. I want to come back to this. I don't want to fret about it, because a lot of times when you're taking exams, what happens is you go down and a different question actually gives you the answer to a prior question. It's a secret tip and trick that I've learned from taking and going through 12 different certifications at this point. And you know, this one, sorry, Matt, there's a typo. There is a typo. It's going to really hurt because that actually goes on your ratings. We'll go fix that later. And I'm going to go ahead, even though I marked it for review, there's a typo, and I did next question. So you see here that this question is actually flagged for review. And I'm going to go ahead and just, go through the rest of my questions. Which one here? What permissions can be assigned by ACLs? Which is the answer to this? I want to make sure I get some correct.
Which question was it again? What
permissions can be assigned by ACLs? Owner, reader, writer, or delegate?
It is the first 3, owner, reader, and writer.
I'm going to the next question. And I'm going to select 3. Single answer, I'm just going to select 1. The last one sounds good. We're going to breeze up through this. As you guys can see, it continues changing. But what's going to happen here, it's going to take me back to my question I marked for review. I can make multiple for review. I still feel pretty good about this, so I'm going to go ahead and select Finish. It's going to go through my grading system, and I'm going to get a report card. Now, inside of this report card, I did 30%. Clearly, those were the answers that Matt gave me. And I can take it again if I want, or I could go back to where I left off inside of Linux Academy. It takes me back into my syllabus. And then I can also go through, I have another opportunity to rate these questions. I can also go ahead and see which ones are correct versus incorrect, and here are the ones I did get correct. Good thing, Matt. And I can see it. Now, what's relatively cool is I'm going to go back to Linux Academy. Takes me back in here, and I'm actually going to go browse back down, and I'm going to go back to it. I can see my prior attempts now. That's something that's new that we didn't have at Linux Academy, and we now have. We have our prior attempts, and I can click on View. And it's going to pop it up, and it's going to allow me to actually go through my prior attempts. So, relatively good stuff today. I like it. We're going to switch the screen. We now have the final screen. Let's make sure we're on there. We now have the final screen where we are going through all of our course announcements. We have today, or on Monday, we had the office tour. Today, we announced Google Cloud Security Essentials. Tomorrow, we are announcing the names that are already on there. So we're going to take it off. And if you saw that, you saw all of our announcements for this week that are new courses. If not, join us. We're going to do more fun. We're going to let you have QAs with the course authors. And so let's take this moment and have a QA. Feel free to ask us questions. We're going to somehow do a giveaway. And I don't know what it is. We'll give away a shirt or something. I think, Winnie, are we going to give something away? I feel like we should give something away. We're giving something away. I'm making a call. And if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to hit us up. You can ask me, Matt, or Stephen Smith. I'm going to see if I can't get us back on the screen here. Well, there's me. There's a big picture of me. We are for sure got to save some pre-templates on this. Super rough. We'll call it. Matt, Stephen, I appreciate you being our guinea pigs and everybody who joined us in this morning.
No problem at all.
So, Winnie, we have any questions coming in or no questions?
No, I've been answering most of them. Thank you to everyone for being so enthusiastic. And there were a few people who kind of...
If you are talking to them, come over, then let them see your face. Let them see Winnie. Nope, you got to. That's done. That already set the expectation that it was happening. We can't not deliver. We have to deliver. There's Winnie.
Yay! Thanks everybody
Hi,
for
Winnie.
taking any of your questions. If you have any other ones, we can answer them right now.
Okay, and so that person who asked the question on Hands-On Labs, it sounds like you are getting a shirt. You want a shirt? Want a Yeti? I'll give you a Yeti. I'll give you a stress ball.
Take the Yeti.
Yetis are like $50. I love, if you don't want the Yeti and you want to give me the Yeti, I will take all of the Yetis. I have a problem.
It's amazing.
Everybody, Steven, where's your Yeti?
Oh, it's upstairs.
Yeah, you're disappointed. Yeti. I got all of the Yetis. I got a special internal Yeti. Can't tell you what that is. Special team.
How accurate are some of these questions related to the real exam questions?
I can take that one if you want.
Well, it depends. It's Google Cloud. This isn't a certification course. Which course are we talking about?
It's a general.
That would probably be the qualifier. Since it's not a certification-based course, it would probably be related to certification questions, but for the actual certification courses themselves, we try to, as much as possible, have as close to exam-like questions as possible without making it word-for-word copies.
So let's answer that from a Google Cloud architect. And Stephen, and we can also, and I'll let you answer that, Matt, but just as a perspective, our philosophy is that when we build practice exams, that the questions are the same complexity, they look at the same testing components, and you are in an exam-like environment that helps you practice, right? So part of taking an exam is really understanding and anticipating what's going on. What we will say is the one thing that we do not do, and a lot of people get mad at us for this, but it's an integrity thing for us, is we do not take exact questions on an exam and post it. We do not do exam dumps. However, our practice exams are designed such that It should accurately prepare you and let you know if you are qualified to take the exam, because our content is based off of that, and our questions are based off of the content, which is specifically, and those questions are specifically designed to be exam-like without breaking NDAs. Our goal is so you learn how to run it, not to pass an exam. You need to know how to pass an exam. Our goal is not to say, hey, you can pass an exam, but now you're paper certified. You can't do anything. We've interviewed paper certified people that have actually come from other training providers, right? It has been, they can answer the questions, and we get on there and we talk about diagrams. We put them through a cloud assessment, and they can't do it. And the other side of that is we want you to be able to get the job. We want you to be able to get the promotion. We want you to not be embarrassed by completely taking down a production environment or exposing it. That's what we try to do as best as possible. Matt, and you can speak to the rest if you want for the Google Cloud.
Yes, definitely echoing what Anthony said. I think the username here is Lara400, not out mentioned. What they're asking is that when you get out to the real world, will these questions help you in the real world, not just pass the exam? And that is by and far the goal we shoot for when doing these exams. For certification courses, or just even the Google Cloud Security, which is not certification focused, the perspective is to obviously help you pass the exam and come across as a real world scenario, like here's something you need to do, here's like the business problem, what steps do you need to take to solve that? And that's also the format that the architect exam is very much as well. It's very high level, very conceptual and complex and scenario based. So we try to take the same approach as well.
Yeah, our exams are, the videos are conceptual. The hands-on quizzes or exercises or environments are designed to take that conceptual knowledge and practically design it. We think of it in terms of a math book. I hate math. I do so much math. I hated it in high school. But think of a math book where you have a chapter, and inside of a chapter you have sections. Each section teaches you a concept. At the end of that section, you have practical application of that independent concept. However, at the end of the chapter, you have 5 sections. All of the chapter questions combined those 5 sections, those 5 concepts, into practical application of them going together. That's how we try to design our content. Anything else you got, Winnie, or are we closing up here?
From Brian, he hears that the Linux Foundation exam is changing this month or next. How adaptive are changes incorporated into the curriculum?
Yep, love it. Love it, because that's what we've been specifically designing all of our new stuff off of. I believe, I can't announce everything right now. What I would say is our heads of content are very focused with communicating with those certifications. There are some that don't want to communicate with us, and there are some that work well with us. So we try to be extremely adaptive and proactive in terms of that. And a lot of our content announcements this month are related around certification refreshes that have been occurring in the industry. We haven't gotten to all of them, unfortunately, because some of them came out surprisingly just like last month. That's not a Linux-related one. So pretty good. One of the objectives of our heads of content is to be able to create and or rebuild an entire certification course in any given 90-day period. Updating to add stuff is easy. We can add it in. That's not a problem. In terms of how we build content, that's our goal. And we are on 90-day content building cycles just because it takes a while. And so, everything's being released in April. We started working on in January. So again, going back to that, we are now moving to that 90-day cycle. So we should actually be able to not only stay on top of any major changes, but any minor changes about 1,000 times better than we ever were able to in the past. And our goal is to be better than anybody else out there as well, which is why we have full-time course authors to be able to say, bam, we know there's a change, hopefully get ahead of it. If not, be extremely reactive to it and make sure it's updated, which is something that Matt looks at all the time and Stephen looks at all the time, Terry Cox and Tom Hazlitt, and as well as me, really focusing on that. So does that answer that question in probably way too much detail?
I think we have time for one more question.
One more question, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you really releasing 70 new courses in the next 70 days?
That's not what we said at all. That's not what we said at all. So in April, we're releasing 70 courses, challenges, or learning activities. So it's a cumulative of all three of those types of content. So in the blog post detail, we're releasing approximately 20 courses, approximately 50 learning independently consumable activities, which are, I'm going to learn how to do this. And then additional, I don't know how many challenges, but additional challenges which are designed for testing your skill set and letting you know what you don't know. Independently a challenge consumable thing. So we are launching more content than we ever have in this time of time period. I'm really close on the camera there. And yeah, so we are launching over 70 components, independently consumable pieces of content, basically, is what we're launching, 70 of them, over 70, yeah. So approximately 20 courses, over 50 hands-on, live environment learning activities with our real-time grader feedback system. So, yes. Hey. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I already... What else? Anything else? I got another minute. I got a minute. So much work to do today, though. Yeah, did you all get to see my little... Michelle, our VP of Engineering, got it for me. What you do is it... He goes, woo! He got his hand behind his head. It's a de-stressor. Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. And then you can just rip its head off if you're really stressed. All right, it looks like we got one more coming.
How different are the quizzes at the end of a chapter versus cloud assessments?
I don't know how to answer that.
Is that a question for me or Anthony?
So they're not different. If you notice in our demo, and I'm trying to think about how to best answer this. If you notice in our demo, it actually takes you to the cloud assessment. So we're incorporating all of our new stuff inside of cloud assessments, which also means we do have independently consumable challenges or assessments, but it is utilizing our, that's where our entire real-time grader feedback platform and all the data coming into it goes through all of our, we have the coolest data streams, utilizing serverless data streams and everything. It's really cool. And so it kind of goes through there quite a bit. So if you're asking, if I take a independently, I was blue. If I take an independently consumable challenge versus a quiz, totally different, because one's going to be a real world scenario that is designed to test lots of things. Can you follow directions? Super important, people. It's super important. Can you follow directions? Do you understand what's being asked? Is it a cost thing or is it a high availability thing? Is it a durability thing or is it a cost thing? So those are designed to be relatively complex, and we actually partner with companies to build those. So a lot different, more real world. And then, the quizzes are designed to test off of those concepts and also part of our feedback system to determine basically what else you need in order to learn the proper concepts. So we've been really focusing on our feedback systems and our data systems in order to, and the loop's going to come full circle for y'all here shortly. But what it does is to provide this information feedback and really know where you are on learning, right? Without going into too many details. Really understand what your skill set is basically where we're at. And then if you're here and you want to be here, what that actually requires. So we have so much cool stuff going on. We've been quiet. We're not going to be quiet very much longer. We're less quiet now. I think we're done. I'm done. I got like 3 meetings. I'm missing 1 meeting right now. But you guys are worth it. I'm all fine with that. I don't think they can fire me. Actually, I think they can. Cool? Are we all good? All right, everybody. We launched Google Cloud Essentials. No, that was wrong. That was the most false thing I've said today. So, everybody, we've launched Google Security Essentials. We had Stephen Smith, head of OpenStack and secret category, unless you totally saw on the screen what the category was that we're going to be launching shortly, and OpenStack, and Matt, who is a awesome Google Cloud author we have, who did the Google Cloud certification available on Linux Academy, one of our highest rated courses that we have, and the Google Security Essentials course. And he is working on some data related things, and we are certification focus this quarter? Derive, take that as a clue. Not going to give you the answers. What may be coming in July? Is July the end of the quarter? In July, in our next thing. Join us tomorrow at what time, Winnie? At 10:45. We might want to alternate that later through the month so other people can join. But join us tomorrow at 10:45. We're going to have Joseph Lowry, another Google Cloud author, announce his course, talk a little bit about it. We'll have Stephen Smith on again, and we are going to join in all of the announcements through this quarter. It's going to be, through this month. We have so many things going on. Prepare your questions. If you don't mind, I would ask that you share, retweet, celebrate. Not for marketing, not for any of that, but honestly, I really want to celebrate with our course authors. We've gone through so much as a company in the past 12 months. We've gone through a transformation like I've never seen. And the amount of agility and resilience and just spirit from the team to go through this, it just humbles me. And I really want to celebrate with them, their hard work of releasing that, like we celebrate with our students and congratulating them, the student. And congratulating our students in the community. So even if you share or retweet it or not, send them a message, post it in the community, say something great, keep them inspired, keep them motivated to continuously build that content for you. Let them know their hard work's really valued, because I genuinely value it, and I know our students do too, but sometimes we ask for all of the negative things so we improve ourselves, and we need some positive things. So I really just want to celebrate with them. Thanks, everybody, and end of live show. I think I got to hit. So it's not officially the end. I don't know how to hit the end button yet. I just downloaded this tool, brand new tool. Maybe we'll have some training on it. Probably a good idea.